Hey everybody, it's Matt with Patriot Golf USA here in, actually today I'm in Longview, Texas, your East Texas golf guy. What I'm going to do is show you a video on how to drill out the hosel. So the reason why you do that generally is if you go from a taper tip hosel, which is a 355, into a parallel tip, which is a 370, you'll need to drill out the inside of this hosel in order for it to accept those shafts. Now, taper tips are just that. At the very end of the shaft themselves, they taper down. And there's not a lot of options in graphite shafts, and that's why we're doing this, because we're putting a graphite shaft in this. There's not a lot of options out there for taper tip in graphites. There are some, particularly UST recoils, and a few other ones, but your options really are limited when you're trying to get into a taper tip graphite shaft. A lot of your OEMs and manufacturers will special purchase those shafts when they're doing mass quantities, but for someone that's doing an upgrade or a build, you're either going to choose a taper tip graphite shaft from the manufacturer, or you can drill this out and then have every single option out there available to you, because every option in graphite is available in a parallel tip. So it just opens up everything. So what we've got these are pings, and I like pings to an extent. I don't like pulling the heads because they're incredibly difficult to pull, harder than most. But the one thing I do like about them is their taper is very, very small on the bottom, so there's not a whole lot to drill out. We're not drilling out the entire hosel. It really is just the bottom part of this. What are you going to need for that? You're going to need what's called a reamer. This is a 370 reamer. You can get these in a 335 if you're going to drill out a driver or fairway wood. You get them in a 355 if you need to clean up a taper tip hosel. You can get these from GolfWorks. I've ordered several of these. I did go through one of my local machine shops and order this one. It was more expensive up front, but it's lasted 5 times longer than these. I mean, it's still going after, I don't know how many I've drilled out, but a lot. Another way to drill these out is with the drill press, and sometimes if I'm into a club where I've got to drill out a lot of the hosel, I will put it into the mount and I'll put it in a drill press and press it out that way. With these ones, I don't mind just putting it in the vise, but make sure that you've got your rubber clamps in there. Crank it down and just make sure that it's pretty solid. This is going to go in and out several times, dumping out the shavings, but you don't always have to have a device or a drill press. I do recommend it because it keeps it more sturdy. However, again, I've done this so many times, I kind of understand the pressures and the twisting of this, so I know I'm not going to twist or hurt anything. So a lot of this is made for slow speed. Again, it's metal on metal, so the slower and steadier pressure you can give, that's the best. I don't use any of the oil because we're not drilling out that much. This will get warm, so you may want to wear gloves if you haven't done this before. But really, we're just going to start in, and it takes a couple of passes, and you can really just go by the sound and listen to it kind of bog down, and then when we're done, you'll hear it turning freely. And as we're doing this, I'll go a little ways, and all of the metal shavings are gonna accumulate in the bottom. Dump those out in the trash because this thing will bottom out. And if you've got shavings down there, it's not gonna get all the way to the bottom. Okay. And then just keep going. The other thing that you have to have, you don't have to, but I really suggest that you do, is get yourself one of these. So this is a gauge, another thing you can get from GolfWorks, you can get it from Mitchell. It's going to be it tells you the sizes. So I know I'm trying to get a 370, so I find my 370, I put it in there, and you can see it goes in perfectly. I've bottomed out, so that one is done. It's in there all the way. If we take another one that hasn't been done yet, we take that same 370, we can see that's as far as it can go, and that's where it bottomed out, and that's how much we're drilling out. So it's not a huge amount, but you have to drill that out or else the shaft isn't going to go down in there. If we have a 355 taper, then obviously that's going to go in all the way. So get yourself one of these things. They're priceless. This is one of the most valuable tools you can get whenever you're doing repairs and really making sure that you know what hosel. Almost every OEM is going to be a 355. So just assume that right off the bat, that if you're talking about Ping or Titleist or Callaway, TaylorMade, they're going to be a 355 99% of the time. So if you are working with OEMs, just pay attention to that. Get one of these and figure it out. So we'll take all the guesswork out, but you can see we got to drill that one out. This one we've drilled out. Now I can take my 370, put a shaft in this, and we're good to go. So I'm going to do one more for you guys just so you can see. Again, this one hasn't been done. Put it in the vise. Okay. Dump out the shavings. And go back in for another round here. Get this down in there a little better. And right there, just by drilling, I can kind of feel it not wanting to grab anymore. So once it doesn't grab anymore, generally, we've gotten all the way to the bottom. So grab this, grab that, and you can see we're all the way in. So that one's done. So that is how you bore out the hosel of a club. And you do that pretty much the same with every single one. Just make sure you get a reamer, and definitely make sure you pick up one of these. These again are used. They're so valuable because I can also take a shaft and put it into the hole here. So if I don't know if a shaft is taper or parallel, or if it's an older shaft, it could be a 350, I can stick it in that hole and I will know exactly what size it is. So it checks the inside of the hosel and it checks the shaft diameter, outside diameter. So all right, everybody, I hope this helped a little bit. If you're wanting to drill out heads, it's not a super complicated procedure. Just make sure you have the right stuff and be patient. And if you can, practice on some other stuff first before you get into yours. But if you like this, please subscribe to this page. And again, please comment. If you have any questions, put them down there. If there's something you need to know how to do, if there's a repair that you don't know about, or an assembly that you don't know how to do, really anything, just let me know and I'll be more than happy to do a video on that. And if I do and you're subscribed, it's going to let you know that I've got a video coming up. So anybody anyway, again, I hope this helps. Everybody take care. God bless. Bye.